online Smicha. Today we'll discuss Halacha in this week's Parsha, Parshas V'aschanan. The Pasuk says in Sheni, Eli maditi eschem chukim v'mishpatim kashitzivani Hashem aleikoi. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I taught you the chukim and the mishpatim the way the Eibishter commanded me. Last is came b'kerev ha'aretz. And the Pasuk continues, Shmartim v'asisem, and fulfill these mitzvahs. As Rashi says, Shmartim zu Mishnah, v'asisem k'mashmoi, literally fulfill Torah mitzvahs. Because this is your wisdom, this is the great understanding, this is what makes you smart amongst all nations. Because the goyim will hear this, they would say, this nation is very great, very special, very smart. Which other nation Hashem is so close to them? And the Sipurnu writes, why will we have this effect on the other nations? Because when a Yid fulfills chukim, and the chukim are only a testimony of our belief in the metzius of our kale, and the mishpatim tzaddikim means just laws, which usually in the Goyish nation, if a judge paskins something, there's definite something in it for him. Because you very seldom find somebody giving a psak din where there's nothing in it for him. Whereas by the Eibishter, lahavdil, and by Torah and mitzvahs, everything is just to justify in Metzias Hakel, and there is only to benefit us. No great benefit for the Dayan. That's how we show our great wisdom and our great connection to Hashem. After all that, the Pasuk says that when you do says the Pasuk, Raki Shamalacha Ushmor Nafshecha Ma'oid Pantishkach Hasadvarim Ashero Einecha. Please be very careful and guard yourself very much not to forget the Dvarim Ashero Einecha, the things that your eyes saw. Upen Yasuru Milvavcha. Make sure that the things don't get removed from your heart. Kol Yamechayecha. What is pshat in this pasuk? So Rashi says, Oz, if you will not forget the Torah mitzvahs, the tasam alamitasam, and you'll fulfill the mitzvahs the way you're supposed to, it's behemshich to what it says earlier. Then tichashvu chachamim and then you will be considered in the eyes of the goyim lahavdil very wise and intellectual people. And if God forbid you'll go crooked for whatever reason, you'll forget the Torah mitzvahs. In other words, if you fulfill what I'm telling you, that's if you fulfill Torah mitzvahs. If you study Torah, the goyim will learn to appreciate your chachma. But if Rahman al-Aslan, you forget about it, you will lose this privilege of being called the great chacham. That's Pshat and Rashi. So what is the Hisham Alacha? Pantishkach? Pantishkach is the Torah. The Ramban, however, argues, and the Ramban says it's not only a suggestion for you to be able to be called a Chacham or a Shaita. It's actual a mitzvah leisesa, says the Ramban. And not only it's a mitzvah leisesa, but it's not referring to the Torah mitzvahs. Don't forget the mitzvah. It's actually referring to Ma'amid Har Sinai. Pantishkach hasadvarim asher ro einecha is remember Ma'amid Har Sinai. Remember the standing in front of Har Sinai and the Eibishter giving us the Torah. Remember the awe and effect that took place then. That is something that you always have to remember. Why is it that important to remember the Ma'amid Har Sinai? And why is it so much so that it's a loisese? Says the Ramban, Hatei eles b'mitzvah g'dayla azois. The benefit by knowing this, that we were all by Har Sinai, if it's only Moshe was the one that gave us the Torah, and we all agree, and any Yid will agree, that Moshe's nevuah, level of prophecy, was way up there, and he had Isis and Maisim all to prove that it's right. But if somebody will come up and claim to be a Navi, and he'll start prophesying and saying things to challenge what Moshe Rabbeinu said, says the Ramban, if chas v'shalom it's one against one, yikarei safek b'leiv ha'anashim. It will throw Rahman al-Tzlan a doubt in the person listening. But if every individual knows that we were there, we were by Maimed Har Sinai, and we heard together with Moshe Rabbeinu, and we saw Maimed Har Sinai, Ein Shamim Tzoi, without any middleman, Nakchish Kol Chaylik V'Chol Mesapik. We will contradict, we will deny anybody who's coming to Shvachin and throw doubts into the Metzius of Matan Torah because I was there. So according to Rashi, the Isser seems to be that it's just for Klal Yisrael to get the title of Chachamim and Levonim, you have to study Torah. According to Ramban, it's about Maimed Har Sinai. Now the Gemara clearly leans to the pshat of Rashi because the Gemara says Hashecheach Dover Echem Mishnasei Arei Mischai B'Nashei, what we also know from Sechta Avos, and it's mashma. It's talking about the Kiyum HaTorah VaMitzvos. Incidentally, this is what we all know, one of the Sheish Schiros that we say every morning after davening, and this is Raki Shamalacha Patishkach Dvarim Sheroi Necha. So if you're having kavanah, and the reason you say this is because Zechar Al Tish, because wherever it says Zechar, Raki Shamalacha is Shmur Nashcha Ma'oid. Pentishkach is a Dvarim Sheroi Necha. So the Sifri learns out that this actually has to be a Zechira B'Peh. You have to actually say it and remember it every day. So according to Rashi, it would mean to remember that you were given Torah mitzvahs and you have to study Torah. And according to the Ramban, it would mean just remember the Maimed Har Sinai and implement in yourself the Amitius HaTorah. Yashikoyach, please join us again next week.